Rangers lose 5-4 to the Boston Bruins. And this game was definitely infuriating in terms of the fact that they lost, considering how well I thought that they played for the most part in this one. We're going to talk about it, though. There's a lot to talk about with this one. Before we jump into it, be sure to leave a like on the video if you do enjoy. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially Ranger fans. Going to cover them all season long. And turn on your notifications so you know when I upload next. But we got a lot to discuss with this one. So for the game, we were supposed to get the regular lineup, the full regular lineup. Ryan Lindgren and Fox were supposed to play, but Ryan Lindgren apparently has a lower body injury. Gallant says he's fine, but we all know that that could be not true with Gallant. So didn't end up getting the normal defensive pairs tonight. And then Igor Shesterkin was supposed to start this game and play the entire game, but he ended up having a stomach bug. So the Rangers had to go to Yaroslav Halak for this game. And Igor sat there with the baseball cap on the entire game. So yeah, we'll just start with, I guess, what happened right in the beginning, because the Rangers open up with a great shift, and the lines tonight were definitely something that could be what we see come opening night. First line tonight was Kreider, Zibanejad, and VC. They end up having a strong opening shift, and it results in a goal as they move the puck pretty well there on that opening shift. Trouba gets it down low from Jimmy VC, who passes it there because they were going low to high, or high to low, I should say. And then Trouba, he fires that one over to Kreider. Should say fire, considering he was 2 inches away. But then he dishes it across. Mika Zibanejad scores that one backdoor. 1-0 game very early. So you're feeling pretty good. And Mika looking nice in the preseason so far, which good sign maybe, because there are times where Mika Zibanejad has started off pretty slow, and it definitely doesn't help the team to start off the season when he's starting off slow. So nice to see Mika looking good there. And then Boston, though, scored not too long after, as Trouba had a terrible read here, and he made a bad pinch there on Mike Riley, goes up to play the puck there, and that ends up getting down low. DeBrusk just walks right in, and that makes it a 1-1 game since Trouba left the assignment. So yeah, very unfortunate there. And not much really happened between that goal and the next goal. I mean, in terms of really what happened, I'm trying to think of even anything noticeable, but for the most part, I mean, there may be a couple power plays here and there, or I think Boston got one there, but there wasn't really much happening between the two goals. To be honest, I was hardly paying attention even then to the first period. So yeah, don't even really remember what happened there. And then Zibanejad, though, scores on the power play when the Rangers do get one from Jones and Trocheck. Jones needs a quarterback power play, too. And that one was a beaut, as Jones just fired it from the blue line. And he had to break up a 2-on-1 before that. I think DeBrusk got the shot off and missed wide. I'm not too sure. But again, was hardly paying attention to the first period. Second and third periods when it really started dialing in. And of course, the Rangers played good, but we'll obviously talk about what happened. But Mika Zibanejad ends up deflecting puck from the bumper. Mika Zibanejad in the bumper. That was weird to see. They had Trocheck in the one-side slot, who ended up getting one of the assists, like I mentioned, on this goal. But definitely was interesting. And I'd like it if the Rangers could actually do some sort of combination there with Trocheck and Zibanejad. If you're going to do that, have them switch off. Maybe even throw Panarin in the bumper now and then, just to throw teams off. Maybe I feel like that could be something that the Rangers decide to utilize. Either way, I would still change the power play units. I think Trocheck should be on power play 2 to kind of balance things out. And then power play 1, you throw Lafreniere, you throw Kakko on there instead, whichever one of them you want to. And I feel like that would just balance things out more, but I digress. And the Rangers end up scoring late in the period, as well as Kakko just says, yep, off I go. And he gets a breakaway and makes a beaut of a move on Jeremy Swayman and backhands that one in to make it a 3-1 game. And you're feeling good. Rangers up, looking great. Fortunately, second period, very early on, Keandre Miller makes a boneheaded play as he decides to try to go D to D on the pass. And yeah, Pavel Zacha was right there. Jacob Trouba, instead of playing the body, decides to wave his stick like a Harry Potter wand. And Pavel Zacha ends up going in and scoring a goal that made it 3-2. And yeah, that one absolutely infuriated me. And the Rangers just kept getting chances also, which is what stung. They were looking really good. They outshot the Bruins in the second period, I think 12-5. But Boston then scored again. David Pastrnak ended up scoring from Krejci and Zacha. This one infuriated me because the refs missed an icing prior to this goal, and that kind of threw things off a bit. And then Hayek, awful pinches. He just tries to play there on Krejci, and yeah, Pastrnak wide open there low. I don't know how he scored on that angle though, but he ends up sniping that one. And you also have Bertowski, who's just standing in front of the net doing nothing, going crab mode. I don't know what that was, but it ends up being a 3-3 game. And then Krejci scores towards the end of this one, and this was a 2-on-1 here, as again Bertowski nowhere to be found, and that ends up making it a 4-3 game. So where do we get mad here? Are we getting mad at Halak, or are we getting mad at the defense for making some boneheaded decisions? I'm going to go the defense because of how many 2-on-1s they allowed this entire night. That's what I'm going to go with personally. But yeah, again, the Rangers played great in that period for the most part. Like I said, too many odd man rushes, which is kind of the Achilles heel with this team, and it was all of last season, especially in the beginning portion of it. They limited that so much. They did such a great job in the second half, in the postseason, of limiting those 2-on-1 opportunities. And even then, in the playoffs, I mean, we did see it a bit against Pittsburgh. There was a couple times that are just playing in my head right now. It's the Achilles heel of this team, and the Rangers really need to figure out how to clean that up, and because it's getting aggravating. But the Rangers do end up scoring in the third period as Hayek just fires one on net, and Kakko just has to barely tap it in as it's just sitting in the blue paint, and that makes it a 4-4 game. Lafreniere as well picking up an apple on that, and the Rangers getting chances and chances again, and it just sucks. Panarin hits the crossbar on a chance, and you throw your arms up, puck goes the other way, and Mike Riley snipes one. This one I'm going to blame Halak on. He's got to save that one. The defense couldn't have done anything better there in terms of coverage. They played their job. They did their job. They played their assignment, and Pastrnak gets the assist as well, makes it a 5-4 game, and the Rangers couldn't get anything. They pulled the goalie. Panarin had a pretty solid chance there, but again, unfortunately, the Rangers couldn't come through and get a tying goal. But overall, yeah, shots in the game, 32-26 in favor of the Rangers. You're thinking, all right, they limited chances. They play great, so Halak must have been the problem, right? Well, like I said, no. The odd man rushes need to be fixed, and I do not care that it's preseason. I do not care. They really need to get into the habit, and I don't care. Like I said, this is something that I want to see improve, because these last few games, when you have your regulars in, this should be the real ramp up here for the regular season, and I want to see it, how you're going to play, and I want to see more competitive games here, and they just didn't show any compete when it came to allowing those 2-on-1s, turning the puck over too much, making some sloppy passes. You need to clean things like that up. But overall, in the offensive zone, I know I said some bad passes, but that was mostly kind of in the neutral zone, and then Keandre Miller's awful attempt at a D-to-D pass. But outside of that, in the offensive zone, they looked very effective tonight. I thought they played great. 32 shots, not going to complain. You get 4 goals as well. Pretty solid there. Face-off percentage, 55-45 in favor of the Rangers. Great. You love to see them winning face-offs. And the power play, 1 for 4. The power play after that one that they scored on was not good. Not good, to say the least. The power play, like I said, I think you got to make a few changes here and there, but Zach Jones needs to be the quarterback on power play too. I don't think it's even close. Hits 27-26 in favor of the Boston Bruins. Got a little physical towards the end. Jacob Trouba taking a boneheaded penalty too late in this one. I mean, there was a lot of penalties happening in this one. Block shots, 8 for the Bruins, 7 for the Rangers, and giveaways, 9 for the Rangers, 1 for the Bruins. Yeah, the Rangers, again, turning the puck over too much. In terms of how the lines played out tonight, like I said, this could be something that we see come opening night. First line, as I mentioned, you had Kreider, Zibanejad, and VC. I thought that was actually a very effective line. I thought that they played pretty solid. 3 shots on goal for Mika in this one. He played a solid game. Same goes for Kreider. And then VC, who got a bit shaken up. I thought he played great. There was one play that he made in the third period, a beautiful behind the back pass. I think Panarin ended up jumping on in that shift, and that ended up being stopped. That might have been the crossbar shot, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Maybe I'm blanking here, but I do remember him making a great pass there in the third period. And yeah, Jimmy Vesey might be the guy on that line, and I kind of liked it more than Sammy Blais, and I definitely liked it more than Barclay Goodrow on that first line. Something to keep an eye on. It's definitely something to keep an eye on, and the fact that they're giving Vesey this opportunity here in the preseason tells me that, yeah, Vesey's definitely going to be on the roster next year. I don't have that, or this year, I should say. I don't know why I said next year. This year. Second line, you had Panarin, Trocheck, and Kravtsov. Not really a line that stood out to me. Kravtsov kind of went unnoticed again, and it's becoming a problem. He got shaken up too a little bit in this. That ended up resulting in a penalty. And overall, I wasn't too thrilled, though, with Kravtsov's play. Panarin, he was up and down. 4 shots on goal, hit the crossbar. That penalty that he took when the Rangers had the power play that negated it, you can't do that. I didn't like that at all. And overall, defensively, he was kind of a liability at times. He was being a bit lazy on the back check, which is something that's noteworthy because of the fact that Panarin alluded to. He wants to go back to his form in Columbus. And to that, I correlate that to a better defensive player as well. And Trocheck, he had some nice plays here and there. 4 hits, 1 shot on goal. Played physical, got a point. But overall, wasn't really a noticeable guy, in my opinion. That line's kind of worrying me a bit there. But again, we haven't seen much of them. This was really our first good look at them. Most of it's either been camp or it's been with a different line mate, so I will give them the benefit of the doubt for right now. And then Panarin missing open net. How could I forget that one too? But yes, that was when he got out of the box as well. So yeah, overall though, that line not too effective. But the third line, the kid line again, coming through in big ways. I mean, Lafreniere, Chytil, and Kakko, I was strongly against them being together just because I wanted to see these guys get top 6 minutes. But, I mean, the way that they're playing together, you have to keep them together, man. You have to. Kakko with 5 shots on goal. 5. Scored 2 goals, and then you had Lafreniere, who ended up throwing 4 hits, didn't get a shot on goal, but he was moving the puck well. He looked great, and then Chytil, 5 shots on goal. He looks so confident this year, and I'm very impressed with what I'm seeing. Face-off percentage for him, 40%. Not a good look. Trocheck, 58, by the way. Forgot to mention that. And then Zibanejad, 67, which I forgot to mention. For the most part, good in the face-offs out there. But yeah, they were drawing penalties too. This third line needs to stick together. They need to, and the problem becomes, who do you throw on that first line? Well, if Jimmy Vesey keeps playing like he has, I guess there's your answer until the trade deadline. But the fact that we're already kind of looking advanced to the trade deadline with that right wing spot kind of sucks, but it's the reality of the situation. And then the fourth line ended up being Blais, Goudreau, and Riedel. I was combining Goudreau and Riedel there. That's kind of how that sounded out. But Goudreau, 67% in the faceoff dot, Riedel, 58%. Loved what I saw from that line for the most part. There were a lot of things I loved. A lot of physicality. A lot. Sammy Blais belongs on the fourth line. Barclay Goudreau belongs on the fourth line. No for this. None of this top 6 stuff with them. No. Look at how well they played in the bottom 6. Look at how well they play on the fourth line. And that could be such an effective shutdown line. I love Gustav Riedel's play. I think he needs to be a mainstay on that fourth line. And then Goudreau and Blais, you love them. Blais with 7 hits on the night. Absolutely unreal from him. Barclay Goudreau threw a hit tonight. Riedel with 4. That fourth line could be very effective. I'd love to see them be the fourth line come opening night. I'd really like these forward lines to be what we see on opening night, if I'm being honest. I think that this is your best combination of lines thus far. So we'll see if that's what they elect to go with next preseason game, but it's going to be hard to see because we know that Ryan Reeves might be a guy still that could get in the lineup there. We know that there's also Dryden Hunt there. We know there's a couple other options, but to me, I really like these line combinations. I do. And then the defense kind of struggled a bit at times. We'll start with the top pair, which was Miller and Trouba due to Lindgren and Fox not playing. Up and down game for them. I thought Trouba had a pretty rough game. I didn't like the penalty that he took. I didn't like his effort on that Zacha goal. And there were a couple bad pinches that he had here and there. So I wasn't really too happy with Truba's play. Miller, he was kind of up and down that pass again. You can't make it. But overall, there were times where he's moving the puck well, just creating space, going through the neutral zone with ease. I mean, there's a lot to love with Keandre Miller. Just not that pass. Not that pass. But I will stop harping on that. And then we'll move on because I want to save the best for us. But Hayek and Bertowski, yeah, these guys are probably not going to be on the opening night roster. They both got assists tonight, funny enough, but they did not play great. They did not play great, and you saw a lot of flaws with them. And then the best for last, Jones and Schneider, they need to be the third pair. They look great. Schneider with a beautiful shot on goal in the third period, if I remember correctly, or that might have been in the second, but remember Schneider getting a nice chance. And Jones, he walks the blue line so well, makes such smart defensive plays as well. Yeah, that needs to be your third pair. I don't think it's even close. I really don't. And I love that Gallant showed confidence in Jones giving him that power play one time. And I think he needs to get power play too. I do. And what does it mean for a guy like Trouba? I don't know. But he's going to have to figure it out if Zach Jones ends up keeping this up. And then for the goaltending, Halak, kind of a rough start. Listen, again, there was a lot of odd man rushes, a lot of 2-on-1s that he had to bail them out. He was tested very early and he stood up to the test for the most part. I'm not going to harp too much on him. I'm not. I think that a lot of it was on the defense, and that Mike Riley goal, definitely, I think he wants back. But outside of that, I mean, maybe you want him to stop that breakaway on Pavel Zacha. Maybe that's really about it for what I could fault him on. I can't be too mad, man. I can't. But let me know your thoughts on this game. Who stood out to you? Who disappointed you in this game? I want to hear it in the comment sections. Did you like these combinations? I want to hear all of your thoughts in the comment sections. That is going to be where I wrap things up. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. If you did enjoy, leave a like on it. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload next, and I will see you in the next one. Let's go, Rangers.